السلام عليكم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Hello everyone, this is Liquidity Club by Ahmed Shawi. Today is Sunday, the 28th of July 2024. I'll be doing the weekly market review starting with DXY. Here we have the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, price has pretty much consolidated here, running up towards that favorite gap. This candle is low and this candle is high. From here, I'm expecting either a continuation to the downside, or it could consolidate more and run deeper towards that favorite gap, which I don't think price is going to be retracing all the way up towards that favorite gap. From here, we might see another run up higher above this high or this buy side liquidity, and then we can see a continuation towards this sell side liquidity. Going to the daily time frame chart, as you can see, we have also traded towards that daily favorite gap, which is this candle is low and this candle is high. We've pretty much touched this favorite gap low. From here, I'm expecting a run one more time up higher to take out the buy side liquidity that has been engineered here above this high, and then a continuation to the downside towards the sell side liquidity. So this is how I'm looking at it. We also have a bearish order block that price might overshoot towards. If it wants to take out this buy side liquidity, it might overshoot or to be animated towards that towards that bearish order block, and then run down lower towards the sell side liquidity. So that is going to be pretty much it for DXY. Going to ES, here I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, price has taken out the sell liquidity that I've mentioned already, and it also reached to the favorite gap, and it was also animated reaching towards the bullish order block, the weekly bullish order block. These two consecutive down close candles are the weekly bullish order block. And if you can notice that it has cleared out any potential favorite gap that it would be created at the upside, which is a potential CB, which is a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So it's not inefficient in buy side delivery. So it has already made this area efficient. Now we might run one more time towards the consequent of this premium wick, which is this level, which is inside the inversion favorite gap. This candle is low and this candle is high, is the inversion favorite gap. Price might retrace towards it and treat it as resistance before running down lower towards the sell side liquidity. So going to the daily time frame chart, and I'm honestly expecting a consolidation here on ES. We have retraced here on Monday towards that favorite gap. On Tuesday, we formed the high of the week, and we pretty much was about to close in the favorite gap. We left a small gap here to be closed, and then we run it down lower. We pushed down lower, we tanked down lower to take out the sell side liquidity over here on Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday from the high. Wednesday we took out the sell side liquidity, but we didn't close in the favorite gap. Thursday we closed in the favorite gap and we reached to the bullish order block. And on Friday we had an inside day where we have we formed a low that is higher than Thursday's low, and we formed a high that is lower than Thursday's high. So it's pretty much an inside day where pretty much building liquidity above and below the marketplace. And when we're bearish here in this instance, I want price to first run up higher, take out the buy side liquidity that has been engineered, and then push down lower after the buy side liquidity has been pretty much raided and cleared out from the markets. So that's how I'm looking at it. We might consolidate a little bit. We might retrace here. We have this daily favorite gap. We have this bearish order block that I'm also looking at. We might manipulate towards these levels, these BD arrays, and then we might have a displacement, pretty much a distribution to the downside, this sell side liquidity over here. And we have also this sell side liquidity here. And just below the sell side liquidity, we have this favorite gap right there. We might fill that favorite gap if we were animated below these lows here. So that's how I'm looking at it for ES. That is going to be pretty much it for ES. Going to NQ, here I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart and I'm viewing the continuous contract. As you can see for NQ, we push down lower. We have a weekly favorite gap here. This candle is low, this candle is high. Price might retrace, but I'm not expecting it to retrace. I'm expecting this to be left open and unfilled. We might retrace towards the consequence of this premium wick. But however, more than that, I'm not expecting any retracement because we have a bearish breaker here going to and we also reach towards that bullish order block, the weekly bullish order block. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see that if it wants to retrace, we have a lot of levels, a lot of BD arrays that are overlapping here that would pretty much stop price from retracing above this high here. So we have a bearish order block, we have the daily favorite gap, the weekly favorite gap, the inversion favorite gap, the daily inversion favorite gap, which are these, I would call them orange color lines. So we might see some resistance here at these levels, the overlap of these levels, and this favorite gap to be left open or unfilled and to be treated as breakaway gap, breaking away from this range over here. So this consolidation, if you consider it, we're breaking away from it. So this would be treated as a breakaway gap and just being left open or unfilled. So this is how I'm looking at it. We might see an institution order for interdrill or a deep retracement to close in that favor gap, that CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So it's inefficient in a buy side delivery. We might see some buy side delivery here as an institution order for interdrill or to continue or fill it out completely before running down lower towards the sell side liquidity over here. So that is how I'm looking at it for NQ, and that is going to be pretty much it for NQ. Going to EURUSD, also known as the fiber. Here I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, last week I've mentioned that I want to see a run downward towards this week's low, this candle's low, which I also put pretty much a dot here to outline that this is what I'm looking at as means of a drawn liquidity. And if it was animated to the downside, we're looking below this low, we're looking at this favor gap over here, and we pretty much traded down lower. We took out the sell side liquidity and we walked inside this favor gap. From here, I'm not expecting a deeper retracement towards that favor gap because pretty much you can see how it formed a long tail or a long wick here, discount wick. If it wants to retrace, I'm expecting the consequence of this discount wick to be stopping price from reaching below than that consequence of this discount wick, and then run up higher towards that buy side liquidity over here. Going to the daily time frame chart, as you can see below this low, we have the weekly favor gap and we have this daily favor gap. You can see how we traded this candle's high and this candle's low. We pretty much traded towards it. A bit of a mohawk here, as you can see, just below the daily favor gap to pretty much accumulate more orders at the bullish order block. I could be wrong and price might retrace deeper in towards the weekly favor gap and then run up higher towards the buy side liquidity. But that's not how I'm expecting it or looking at it. I'm looking for just a continuation here towards the buy side liquidity, as we've already walked inside the internal range liquidity and we've collected orders. We engineered liquidity here from internal range liquidity, from collecting from this sell side liquidity and the bullish order block here, the fair value gap. So we pretty much are concentrated here in terms of liquidity. Now I'm just expecting a run up here towards that buy side liquidity. So that is going to be pretty much it for EU, or also known as the USD, or also known as the fiber. Going to pound USD, also known as the cable. Here I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. As you can see, the same thing is mentioned here for pound USD. I just want to mention and note here that this fair value gap is wrong, and the correct out a line of this fair value gap would be this candle's low and this candle's high. So it would be like something like this. So I have mistakenly drawn out like this. So price has retracing towards that favorite gap. From here, I'm expecting a run up higher towards that buy side liquidity, and we have the major buy side liquidity over here. And I've already outlined a dot here to show you and outline that this is what I'm looking at in terms of a drawn liquidity next. So we might actually have a deeper retracement towards that favorite gap. This candle is low and this candle is high, and then price could run up higher, but that's not how I'm expecting it because price is pretty much concentrated and has already accumulated a lot of liquidity. So it's not really in need to run down lower towards that favorite gap, but it can run deeper towards that favorite gap. But that's not what I'm expecting here. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see we retrace towards that daily favorite gap over here. Now, what I'm expecting here, run up here, continuation to the buy side liquidity. Below Before that buy side liquidity, we have this favorite gap, which is this candle's low, this candle's high. I'm looking at this as a favorite gap drawn liquidity. Price might run up higher. Treat this, I'm not treating this as an entry PDRA. I'm not looking for shorts here once we trade towards that favorite gap. I'm looking for longs once we trade here and we close above it on a daily basis. I'm looking at it as an inversion favorite gap that price can trace and treat it as support, that I'm looking to add more positions here to send it and pretty much hold it towards that buy side liquidity. I'm not looking at this as an opportunity to go short, as we're right now in a buy program and I'm looking for higher prices. That's how I'm looking at it. So that is going to be pretty much it for this weekly review. If you have any questions or if you want to go over any of the information that I have pretty much included or provided in this weekly review, please, or any other information about psychology or anything related to the markets, please don't hesitate to message me on Twitter or X as it's called now, or join the Discord server that is attached. The server link or the invite link to that server is attached down below in the description. That is going to be pretty much it. I really hope you found this one insightful. Until I talk to you next time, be safe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.